G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Michael, I am the Moto Barista and I'm really excited to be riding the Indian FTR 1200 today. It's a beautiful day. I spent most of it out test riding the Chieftain Dark Horse. There's a link to that video in the description below, and I'll leave a card at the end of the video as well so you can check that out. Now that kind of bike, that big bagger, is more my style of riding. It's kind of a long distance and everyday riding kind of bike. This, however, is get out and get in trouble kind of bike. And there's a special place in my heart for bikes like this. Now I don't have time to do a full review on this motorcycle. Like I said, I spent most of my time, battery and camera storage on the Chieftain video. But what I thought I would do with the FTR 1200 is give you my 3 likes and 3 dislikes about the motorcycle. So first up, let's go for the likes. First of all, I think it's a beautiful bike. I think it looks really awesome. I think this race replica version looks really sporty and has nice aggressive lines. So I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. The next thing I like, of course, is the performance. Now, on the spin around the blocks that I've just done, I've already picked the front wheel up multiple times, okay? This bike wants to buck and it's really good fun for that. It's definitely a city riding bike and you can definitely have a lot of fun if that's the kind of riding that you like to do. Also, if you're a weekend rider and you like to go hit the twisties, this bike's going to be a lot of fun for you. The next thing that I would say that I like are the brakes and the suspension. So we've got upside down fully adjustable forks on the front, we've got adjustable shock on the back and double disc Brembo brakes at the front. So this really does have the suspension and the braking power to make you feel comfortable really giving this bike a good go. And the bike, as soon as you twist that throttle, it really does want to go. And yeah, having the suspension and brakes to support it is really helpful. Okay, so a few things that I dislike. Now, of course, this bike isn't made for someone like me. I ride my bike every day, long distance to work, everything in between. So I need a big bike, lots of storage and long distance capability. This is not that bike. So these dislikes coming up are personal and by no means would they be the same for you. One thing that I would say, first and foremost, is kind of the comfort of the bike. And again, this is personal. Getting onto this bike, I was expecting a little bit more of a scrambler ergonomic position. Instead, this is definitely more like a sports bike. So you sit a lot higher than I thought you would. I can flat foot still, but I am quite tall. I do have a higher inseam. So it's a bit more like a sport bike. You sit higher up and your feet are a lot further back than I was expecting. So this is a little bit uncomfortable for me. I was hoping for something a little bit more scrambler style, kind of like Ducati Scrambler, Triumph Scrambler, that kind of ergonomics. The actual foot pegs and foot controls themselves are quite small. I wear big military style boots when I ride because they're super comfy and they're really great for work as well. And I found my feet kind of slipping off the pegs sometimes because they were a bit too big for the pegs, and I was finding it quite difficult to hook my left toes underneath the gear levers. So that was a little bit frustrating. The last thing I'd say I dislike, and again this is personal, I would say that the bars, I'm happy that they put motocross style bars on them, but I prefer them to be a little bit wider, and I would probably prefer them to be a little bit thicker as well. They're quite thin, narrow bars, and they just feel a little bit too small. So that would definitely be something I swapped out. If I had this bike, I'd put on some wider, fatter bars, and I think that would give it a little bit more comfort, but also a little bit more control as well. But apart from that, like, those are really small things. This bike is a lot of fun. And again, if you're a city rider or a weekend rider, and you just want to go out and have some fun, a great looking American nostalgic bike, then I think that the Indian FTR could definitely be for you. I'd like to have a few of the adventure accessories attached to it and then take it off through some gravel roads and have this back end sliding. I think it would be so much fun for that. I think that if I was in the market for that kind of bike, then yeah, this would probably be the one that I get, because the power that comes from the V-twin in here is just so much more fun than the engines that are in the Scrambler of the Ducati and the Triumphs. Alrighty, so just a short video this week going through a few of the points that I really like and don't like quite as much about the FTR 1200 from Indian. Overall, it's an awesome motorcycle, guys. Take it for a ride. You have a lot of fun. I know I am, and I'm about to jump back on and probably pop a few more wheelies because this bike makes you want to pop wheelies. If you haven't checked out the Indian Chieftain Dark Horse video that I put out, make sure you give that a view, because that bike is amazing and it's totally the kind of bike that is suited for my kind of riding. If you're like me, you like going long distance, you like commuting on your bike, you like using it for everything, check out that video, because that's really where that motorcycle shines. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I really want to hit 500 by the end of the year. And as always, if you have any questions or you want to leave your comments on this bike, leave them in the comments below and I'd love to get in touch with you. All right, take it easy, ride safe, drink some damn fine coffee. I'll see you next time. Peace.